Hi there, I'm Andrew, yours ThatGamerAjax, and what a year it has been. This is just going to be a very casual video, just talking about kind of some of the highlights from 2022 and kind of what we can look forward to going into 2023 for the channel. I would like to just start with a huge thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel this year. It really does mean a lot. We more than doubled the amount of subscribers that we had here, and we've had multiple videos that have been performing very well in my opinion. And I really could not be doing this without the continued support that I'm getting from the community that I'm building between here and Twitter and Discord. And I want to take a quick second to thank all of you. I truly appreciate it. So with that quick thank you out of the way, let's go ahead and shift on over to talking about some of the games. And man, I played so many games this year. I got so many new experiences, and I really want to share all of them with you. So for starters, just kind of looking at my home game, I'm finally almost wrapping up a nearly 3-year-long Veil of the Void campaign. Once that's done, I'm going to take a small break off from being a GM for that group, so that way I can shift my focus onto something probably along the lines of Lancer. Speaking of Lancer, that was a game that I actually got to try out this year. Granted, it was just for one shot and it was only for a few hours, but I have to say that I really enjoyed the system, and building mechs in that game is so much fun, and I like the fact that there's a lot that you can do, and there's just a very great tactical feel while playing that game. While the roleplay elements are much more streamlined, I think that's something that, especially with the groups that I tend to play with, that we could really flesh that out and have a lot of fun with it. Other highlights for games that I got to play this year, I got to actually try out Pathfinder 2nd Edition. That was one that I was very nervous about trying just because I've heard that the game is relatively crunchy, but I had a very good time with it. I got invited to that thanks to some connections that I've made over this past year, really, and I'm really looking forward to diving more into that game and understanding really what makes it tick a lot more. So you might be seeing some stuff with Pathfinder coming up in the near future. Other games that I got to play this year that were a huge standout for me were the Alien tabletop role-playing game and Cyberpunk Red. Those were two of the favorite games that I got to play with people on my Discord server. Had a blast with those, and you can definitely expect videos on them coming in the near future. I think that each of them does very unique things. I know I've been talking about Cyberpunk a lot here on the channel recently, and we are wrapping up the basic series on that, but it is a very cool game, and if you get the chance to play it, I would highly recommend doing so. Alien is definitely very thematic in nature. It has a very cinematic feel to it, and even some of the rules tell you not to, like, force dice rolls all the time, because the ways that characters fail in that game can be very extreme, and that's not something that you want to happen on just a whim. That is definitely one that really captures those horror elements very well. Along with this, I finally got a chance to play my first Powered by the Apocalypse game with Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I ran a one-shot for that, and it was a ton of fun. Seriously, if you have not looked at this game yet, I would highly recommend doing it. It is a very good time. It's very inclusive. It is very fun to play, and when you are looking at a game that focuses on roleplay elements with a very simple premise and a very easy to make your characters, this is going to be the game that is going to be for you. I think that out of the games that I played, I think that the one that was probably the most stand out, though, was that Alien experience. And just part of the reason, again, was that I had great players. We had this awesome little plot twist because a character decided to make a choice, and it was just a lot of fun. And seriously, if you get the chance to try out this game, do it. It is a lot of fun. So aside from playing private games, I actually got to also play on a couple of streams. And let me just tell you, Jack, Drake, and Zoe, if you guys are watching this, thank you so much for making my introduction into streaming such a very good time. And there are going to be links to the shows that I got to play in. But I got to play a game called Lost Eons, which had a very interesting dice pool mechanic, and really did reward you for making risks with your character. If you want to see a little bit more about that, that's going to be in the description below. Along with this, Drake, I got to be a game master with Tales from the Table Studios for a charity thing, and we ran Veil of the Void, had a very good time with it, and I have to say this opened me up to a lot of ideas. I think that it is really opening the potential of me being in more actual plays and wanting to host actual plays here. So this is going to bring me into my next point. What can you expect from this channel in 2023? So I know that last year I had said that, the actual play was something that I wanted to do, but I do think that I finally have the time and I have the energy to actually make that happen, and I have a little bit more knowledge on what I'm doing. So far, the only actual play that I have here on my channel is my Emerald one, and I had a lot of fun with it, and my players were awesome. It was a great time. I just didn't really know what I was doing. And that's something I've been learning about more, and I've been getting tips from people that I really look up to in the space. So you can definitely expect more of that to be coming. It will probably be focusing more on either one-shots or mini campaigns, because let's be honest, putting something that is long form it does take a lot of energy and a lot of effort, and that's just not something that I'm not necessarily sure that I'm going to be able to do. So trying to set expectations realistically, but I think that we'll be focusing primarily on some of those smaller systems that I enjoy covering the most. I think that one that I really want to dive into is my Dishonored role-playing game, just because I think that's one that would be good for a very short-term campaign, and players are going to be the key factor there. So just something to keep an eye out for moving into the future. Along with this, you can definitely expect more stories. That is going to be something that I'm going to be focusing on a little bit more. And you can expect more guides, because I like being able to teach people how to play games. And I think that there are a lot of great games that are out there. And sometimes getting started can be a little intimidating. So I know we've been focusing on Cyberpunk recently, but like I've really enjoyed Lancer. I really enjoyed Alien. I think that there are a lot of games that I can really dive into to teach. So this is just going to be a relatively short, very quick video. I just wanted to say thank you again to everybody that has subscribed to the channel, that has been watching the videos. I really appreciate it. I do this for fun. I do this because it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I just want to thank all the connections that I have made over this past year. I think that this was the year that I finally started to feel like I'm actually, doing something in the space. And while the channel is still small right now, I have just really enjoyed this past year, and being a content creator and being able to connect with so many amazing people. But that is going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much. If you have any highlights from your 2022 in tabletop gaming, please let me know about those. I love getting to hear everybody's little victories and the highlights from your past year. But hey, I'll see you in 2023. Bye-bye.